footage like this before?
No, we haven't seen anything like that before.
I've seen it displayed like this.
Yeah. Do you know what it's about?
Well, it's anonymous for the voiceless, so it's all about exposing animal cruelty.
Yeah, we're showing, it's not just the cruelty, we're showing what happens to animals for us to eat, for us to wear them and use them in all different ways. So we're talking about animal exploitation. Yeah.
Eat a bit of pork, you'll be right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah? Come and talk to me about it. You want me to eat a bit of pork?
Yes.
Why?
That's not right.
That's not right?
No.
So why would I be eating pork if you don't think that's right?
No.
Yeah. What was that, mate?
It's not right.
What's not right?
Like, well, I don't know, I guess it's putting farmers out of jobs, isn't it?
Oh, so you mean it's not the footage that's not right, it's what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of it's not right?
Well, the whole, it's f***ing blatant terrorism.
I do think farming practices are improving, but yeah, it's still got a long way
Improving?
to change.
Yeah. What do you think is the best way to kill a sentient being?
Cleanly,
How does that work?
depending on what you're trying to kill, I guess. Like, yeah.
What does it mean, cleanly? I guess is what I'm asking.
Oh, so it doesn't suffer, just straight up.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you were to hunt anything, you don't want to prolong its death. You want to make it as quick and painless as possible, but you should only ever hunt what you can use properly.
What do you think of this footage? How does it make you feel?
Well, look, I know what you're all about, but animals are a part of our food chain, and part of it, humans use animal products, and there's a way of doing it without being overly cruel to the animals, and I think that's the way to go.
Okay, could you explain to me what's the non-cruel way of slitting someone's throat? What is?
It is, like you're protesting.
No, explain to me what's terrorism.
It is.
Protesting is terrorism?
It is. That shit that happened in Melbourne, the shit about going to the farms.
Sure.
It's terrorising.
What does terrorism mean?
I don't know, you give me the definition, I'm sure.
Okay, so you
it.
don't know what terrorism means?
I do, I'm not getting the definition, I'm not playing this lefty bullshit, but like...
You're saying if we kill someone really quickly, then that justifies taking their life?
No, but it depends on the circumstances and why you're trying to do it.
Okay.
So, I eat meat, but at the same time too, I don't agree with the over-manufacturing, I guess. Like, there's a lot of energy that goes into all this just in general.
So if we do this just a little bit, does that make it okay?
No, that's what I was saying, quite cleanly and a little bit more efficient.
Okay.
Well,
how would we do that in a better way?
When they're dead, kill them first.
How do you kill them?
Stun them.
That doesn't kill them, that renders them unconscious. That's what we're currently doing. Yeah, so that doesn't kill them.
No, but they're not conscious of what happens to them now.
Actually, a lot of them aren't stunned properly and a lot of them are killed whilst they are still conscious.
But you're pushing that lefty front on me, so
I don't understand, what does lefty mean?
You're trying to trip me up on my words.
Not at all, sir. I'm just trying to get you to explain to me. You just called us a terrorist organisation. But you can't even explain what terrorism is.
Well, there you go. Like, I don't know, do you want me to get the definition on my phone?
You're the one saying it.
There we go. It's alright, I've got time to waste.
Good. So the reality is that what you're seeing here is the most current footage. This is legal standard industry practice across Australia, RSPCA approved. And the reality is that if we're eating meat, dairy and eggs, this is exactly what we're paying for and what we're consuming.
Fair enough.
How does that make you feel?
Same, I'm still just processing it.
If we don't need to eat animals, why are we still doing this to them? Because what you're seeing here, a lot of it is from free-range farms, RSPCA approved. Everything you're seeing is standard industry practice and it's all legal. So this is the better way of doing it.
Well, we had some chooks and we ate their eggs, and we treated them very well.
Sure.
And they had a happy life.
Well, the majority of animals, though, don't live in your backyard. That's the thing. The majority of animals come from these farms. So when you eat out at a restaurant or any animal products that you buy from a supermarket, they're coming from exactly what you're seeing here. They're not coming from the chooks in your backyard.
No, but I think that...
So while you're looking that
I've
up...
been a vegetarian before.
Have you?
Like, yeah, I have.
When have you been vegetarian? When
Like, I'm 30 now, like when I was 20.
Oh, wow.
But I can't not eat meat.
Hold on, why did you go vegetarian?
Because of my girlfriend.
Okay. Yeah, how long were you
and my
vegetarian
friends.
for?
Probably like a year.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, like I did eat meat during that time, but...
Right, so you just
I
reduced
couldn't-
the amount of meat you ate
I
then?
was pretty veggie. Like I went to India, I didn't eat meat for 6 because there's not much meat over there to eat.
Yeah.
And I got sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you consider not eating animals after watching this kind of footage? You wouldn't? No? Well, you don't have to say sorry. To me, they're the victims. They're the ones having their throats slit.
I grew up farming, so
Yeah.
Like,
Does that make it okay? Like, just because you...
doesn't change my views. Like there's a right way and a wrong way to do things.
What's the right way to do things?
Quickly and efficiently.
From the victim's perspective, though, that's from the oppressor's. That's from our perspective as consumers, as the perpetrators of that violence. We're saying, I'll do this to you really quickly and really cleanly and efficiently, whatever that means.
It's just quickly and efficiently, just in general. Like if you're looking after a beast, if it's suffering, you don't try and drag out its inevitable fate. You go, hang on, it's got to be put down. It's got to be done.
Okay, so these animals aren't put down.
No, but just in general, it's the same rule that applies. You want to do it quickly and efficiently.
I can't go all the way with you're saying don't eat any animal products and don't have any animal killed or breed any.
Don't wear leather shoes. Don't wear woolen jumpers.
You think it's a strange thing not to kill animals unnecessarily?
Well,
No, I agree with you. Not unnecessarily, but necessarily.
So I'll tell you a funny story. Now,
Yeah.
what's your name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. I'm Natasha.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
You're shaking hands with a
that's
terrorist.
all right. Yeah, no,
right?
it is. It's
okay.
terror.
No, hold on. We're going to get back to that in a second. But let me just tell you a funny story. So, Jonathan, what you may not realise is that you and I have a lot in common. Now, we've just met each other. Let me finish my story, mate.
Yeah.
I used to be the biggest meat eater going around. I used to say that eating a meal without meat was not for humans.
Yeah.
It was bird food,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I always needed to have meat.
Yeah.
I went to India 11 years ago, and I went to a place where they do yoga and meditation, right?
Yeah.
And you had to eat vegetarian there. It was in Kerala, in the south.
Yeah, I spent a bit of time in Kerala.
Okay, cool. Nice place.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Very nice.
So my husband and I rock up to this place. We're doing some yoga for 3 months. It's a vegetarian diet, and we're like, we have to eat this vegetarian thing, right? Hated the idea of it. Fully intended to go back to eating meat when we left.
Yep.
Halfway through, they showed us a video, and it was something like this. They showed us what happened to animals for meat.
Yeah.
And we'd never seen this before. I was like 29 at the time.
Yes.
Never seen anything like this before.
Yes.
We're in a room with about 300 people. End of the film, everyone starts clapping because they're all vegetarians. My husband and I look at each other, we go, because now we have to be vegetarians.
Like the industry, you know, I don't know, like there's...
Hold on, let me finish my story. So the point was, we didn't know about any of this. We were just going along with it because that's what we'd always done. And as soon as we saw it, we started to question, like, this isn't right. Why are we doing this if we don't need to? And the more we looked into it, we said, hey, we can't do this anymore. They're not objects, they're not like bricks or chairs. They are living, feeling, sentient beings. They are someone. Now, to them, whether we kill them slowly or quickly, cleanly, efficiently or whatever, to the victim, if they could choose not to be in that situation of having their throat slit and head chopped off, they would choose that. So it's not what makes us comfortable with that process, it's what's the right thing to do by them. All right, so what's necessary about killing them? What's necessary about eating them or wearing them?
Well, it's a good food source, which provides a certain range of vitamins and essential amino acids, which is difficult to get otherwise. It's possible to get.
Well, the Academy for Nutrition and Dietetics is America's largest body of registered dietitians and nutritionists. And they are not a vegan organisation. They actually have sponsors from the animal products industry, and yet they have a peer-reviewed position report stating that an appropriately planned vegan diet is adequate for all stages of life, from childhood, pregnancy, and also athletes. So everything that we need can be obtained from a plant-based diet.
Milk's okay?
No, well, of course, we drink milk from plants. So you can have almond milk,
So you
oat
don't
milk,
just
soy
feed your
milk.
babies.
Oh, no, of course, it's the
Well,
same
that's animal
species.
milk.
No, well, that's the same species
that
now.
different?
Of course it is.
Not
See, a cow,
entirely.
well, of course it is, sir. A cow produces milk for her baby, just like a woman produces milk for our baby. So species to species is, of course, why we produce milk in the first place. But a cow doesn't produce milk for a human to drink, just like we don't produce milk for a cat to drink. Right? Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah, I can see your argument.
It's not an argument, it's just logic, it's biology. Humans produce milk for their own species, just like every animal does.
But isn't this like the worst? Like these videos are the worst of the industry practices.
That's what a lot of people
you know?
say. Okay, so remember
Right.
those protests you were talking about earlier on?
Yeah.
Remember it was about seeing a film called Dominion?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Is
this
that
footage is from Dominion.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, the thing is, Dominion was
Yeah.
made because people like yourself
Yes.
would say, oh, it only happens on certain farms, it's only this farm, it doesn't happen here.
Well, there's the production facility because they all have to go to Australia. Have to go
hold
to one.
on.
Yeah,
The producer, Chris Delfos, had enough of hearing that, and so he said, you know what? I'm going to make an Australian film showing so many different farms around the country. This is standard legal industry practice. This isn't a
Yeah.
rogue operation.
Things that can be done a lot more probably ethically to the animals, because I guess this is done on a larger scale to what
A lot of these are small family farms. This is across Australia, all different farms. It's from the film Dominion, as I said. So it's the standard industry practice, whether it's a large farm or a small farm, and all the animals are sent to slaughterhouses anyway. So again, I've never heard in 8 years of being vegan, I've never heard someone give me an answer of how do we ethically slit someone's throat who doesn't want to die.
Humans have all have, you know, if you go right back into really ancient times,
Yeah,
humans have eaten
of course.
animals and they've used their pelts.
Absolutely.
For clothing.
Yeah, I agree with you. But the difference is that was
They've used it
survival.
Skin for tents. to
Yes.
shelter them
We don't
from
live
the
in tents
weather.
though, do we? We're not in a survival situation. We live in a city.
This is historic.
We used to do a lot of things in history. We had slaves. Women used to be burned at the stake. We did lots of things in history. It doesn't mean that they were right.
But,
It just means that they was what we did at the time. But we look back at those things and think, well, that wasn't very nice. So we're going to look at this one day and say, this is atrocious. Why would we do this to baby animals for when we don't need to? We can be happy and healthy, not hurting animals. So why would we do that?
I mean, I
Right.
understand with the chickens, you know, like the chickens, like they put like 10,000 into one little joint.
Yeah.
The ones that survive become meat. The ones that don't, you know, they're in the bin. You know, like that's
Okay.
just, it's mass production.
A lot of this is free range and organic and cage free.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't know, because then we started to eat like, you know, free range eggs.
Yeah.
We didn't know. And then we saw the footage of free range chickens and we're like, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we ended up going vegan.
The free range thing as well. Yeah.
It's all a lie.
Loose, you know, it is. Yeah. it
Right?
is. I know
So
that.
this, do you know what humane
No,
means?
not off the top of my head.
Yeah, it means to be compassionate and to show benevolence.
We got to roll?
Of course you do. Again, you don't have to say
That's right.
sorry to me. It's the victims we have to apologise to. But can I leave you a card with some more information?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
But I still think they're delicious.
Yeah, it's not about taste.
Yeah.
Vegans don't stop eating animals because we don't like the taste of them. We stop
Yeah.
eating animals because it's wrong. Sex feels good. Does that mean we can justify rape?
No?
Right. So we
100%.
can't justify violence to another being just because of sensory pleasure.
Agreed.
Right,
But
so
it's
if
how
we-
you engage to do it though.
Okay, so how should we rape someone humanely and
No,
ethically?
you don't engage in the rape, but you engage in the act of sex. So there's a way that people come together to make sure that
It's consensual.
it's
Someone's either
consensual,
having
yeah.
sex or they're being raped.
Yep.
Right?
You know,
yeah,
I know
your
you
logic,
believe
but I
in
won't
that.
go all the way with it.
You don't believe it? You think that this is still
No,
necessary?
I think there's a middle road.
But what is it? Explain it to
I
me.
think we could try to make sure that the animals we eat have had a happy life and been treated with respect.
Okay.
And you know, but
Does that justify taking their life though at the end of the day if we don't need to? And if they had a choice, they don't go willingly to their execution. They all fight and try and get out of that situation. So even if they've given a happy life, does that justify their execution at the end of the day?
yes, sometimes
It does?
if as a food source, yes, I think so.
But why are we still calling them a food source when we have as I explained, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics saying that we don't need them.
Because we have the choice and we have options.
We have a choice and options, that's right. So if we have the choice to be kind and healthy without being cruel, why wouldn't we choose
I
that?
don't think that's cruel.
You don't think that's cruel? You don't think slitting
there are-
throats is
there are
cruel?
things-
This one here, the screen in the middle,
Yeah.
right? See these little babies?
Yeah.
Do you know what that's-
That's hectic.
Okay.
Like, what are they turning that into?
Well, that's for the egg industry.
Yeah.
See, that they're baby males and they don't lay eggs, of course.
Okay.
So they're not worth anything.
What do
They don't
they
make
do?
money.
They just
They
turn
just
them into
ground it
pet
up.
food?
Yeah, it's pet food.
pet food.
So they've just been born.
They've
so
just hatched
exactly.
and they're on the conveyor belt into the thing.
Right?
you
Now
know?
this is
Yeah.
vegetarian. People who are still eating eggs
Yeah.
are still contributing to that.
Yeah.
Right? Now
Yeah.
this is organic, free range, all farms that produce
So it gets
eggs.
sent to
Right.
one joint.
Yeah, right? Have you tried a Beyond Meat burger?
I have actually.
And does it taste like beef?
No
Is- oh, now I know you're being intellectually dishonest. You definitely are. And by the way, does your taste justify what we're doing to these animals? A lot of them are actually babies.
My taste still sticks with my beliefs and that things need to be treated.
Still calling them things.
Yeah, correct. Because I haven't heard a dog or a chook use pronouns.
It's not about using pronouns.
How do
They're,
you define them? They're not things.
well, it's not a brick, is it, or a chair? They're a living. Are they sentient beings? Are they sentient beings?
No, but they
They're not
pronouns.
sentient beings. Well, I just. Right, so you know a lot of this,
I know
mate.
heaps of it,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
my
I
question.
think my blood, I can't not eat meat though, my blood
Why?
type.
Why?
My blood type.
What does that mean specifically?
Like, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's not compatible. Like I've tried different protein options of vegetarian stuff.
Okay.
And it doesn't contain, whether it's because I've been brought up on it
Yeah.
or whatever. But even like I had this, like a kinesiologist,
Yeah.
right? And she says the same thing. Like she's like, no, I would be veggie if I could.
Yeah.
But my body can't tolerate
Okay.
having veg.
So let me help you out with that because we hear a lot of that.
But
and
I like meat. you know,
okay,
I'm
it's not
gonna
about
give
not
it up.
liking
Yeah,
meat.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
about
yeah.
not liking it.
I
I
get
like.
you want to change industry practice.
Hold
I
on, mate.
understand that. Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
here
Yeah.
didn't stop eating animal products because we don't like the taste of it. we
Yeah,
stopped
yeah,
eating
yeah.
it because it's wrong.
Yeah.
Now I can show you in Coles and right now there
Yeah.
are burgers that taste just like beef. I had one yesterday.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
eaten meat for 11 years.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
there's alternatives.
There are things on these pictures here that are cruel, yes.
But this is standard legal industry practice. This is how all animal products are produced all around the world. How else do we feed 7 billion people who want meat, dairy and eggs?
Oh well, we don't have to have that. They could be fed with other products in a sustainable way, yes, but I think that animals have always been part of our food chain.
They have always been part of what we eat, but the point is, as you said, we have a choice. It's 2019.
These vegan mums feeding their kids like this vegan and their kids are malnourished. you
Okay,
know?
so they're one of, people that have done silly things.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that would be like
But
saying...
don't you think like,
Hold on, let me answer
okay,
that
we send
question.
off-
There are people eating an omnivorous diet that have malnourished children,
Yes.
right? There are people who are feeding their kids McDonald's
Yeah.
all the time and they've got
yeah, yeah.
obesity in
Fat
5
kids,
years
yeah,
old,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So someone feeding their child an inappropriate diet, irrespective of that diet, is a bad parent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That doesn't mean there's something wrong with the vegan diet.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you can eat all of these products in the plant-based version. I had a burger yesterday that tasted exactly like beef. I haven't eaten meat in 11 years.
Why are you trying to get a burger that tastes like beef?
Well, we don't stop eating animals because we don't like the taste. We stop eating it because it's wrong.
Why are you craving
I'm not
something
craving.
that tastes like beef?
No.
You just said that,
Yeah.
that you ate a burger and it tasted just like beef.
Yes.
So what? If
Well-
you don't believe in eating beef, why are you trying to recreate the taste of beef?
I'm not trying to recreate the taste of beef.
You just said it.
Hold on, let me explain to you. I had that burger so that when I have conversations with people like you that still eat animals, I can say if you still want the taste of animal products, you can go to Coles and buy the same thing. So it's not because I crave it. Those plant-based options are actually, I think it's about, well, was it 70 or 80% of the market of plant-based foods are eaten by non-vegans. They're
What's a
alternatives.
vegetarian?
love
I'm a vegetarian that likes meat. Put it that way.
We've started in the same place. Remember, we started in India
Yeah.
doing vegetarian,
Yeah.
right? So I'm on your wavelength. I've been there, exactly.
I love vegetarian food.
Yeah, we're not vegetarian. Actually, the dairy and egg industry is crueler and more violent than the meat industry. So let's be clear on that. People have problems when they switch
Yeah.
to a plant-based diet, especially with the whole protein thing,
Yeah.
for one very good reason.
Yeah.
People don't eat enough calories.
Yeah.
And so they start to feel weak and a bit
Yeah,
lethargic.
yeah.
And the reason is because there are less calories in plants compared to animals. Animal products. So you've got to eat a larger volume.
I don't go along. No, I don't think you've got a straight
I don't think you
argument.
have a straight argument there.
What's not much straight argument? Hold on, look, let's think about what we're talking about here. We're talking about slitting someone's
we're talking
throat
about-
or making a burger out of plants.
I don't know.
No? You want to stick with slitting throats?
I'll stick with eating meat.
Eating meat that's
Slitting
produced
throats.
according to RSPCA standards.
That's exactly what we're looking at here. That's exactly what we're looking at.
I don't think so.
Well, that's your opinion. This is fact. This is fact, ma'am. This is fact. I can send you to the website and you can check. You can watch the
Don't worry,
videos from
I
every
will go.
farm. Yeah, there's nothing within you that says I need meat, because if there was something so important in meat,
like thousands and thousands of years of evolution.
that was from survival. If there was something so important in
and we're still
meat,
surviving, though.
we are not surviving.
Yeah, we are.
Mate, we live in a city. It's 2019. Come on, there's food everywhere.
Have you tried living? It's hard.
What do you mean tried living?
Like, yeah.
Where do you shop? Do you shop at Coles and Woolies? Same place as me?
Yeah.
We're going to the same supermarket.
yeah,
You're picking up
yeah.
chicken. I'm picking up something that's made from plants.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
All right? It's not a survival
Oh,
situation.
I'm gonna go. But it was nice talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I want to go back to the start of this conversation.
I think we'll stick with what we have.
Yeah.
We'll stick with what we've
Okay.
thought about.
Okay, you do that and I'll stick with being kind and non-violent. Awesome.
I've got to run.
You gotta run?
Yeah, my friend just
All right.
came up before.
Do you
and
still
I-
think after this
I-
conversation that we are terrorists? In all honesty.
Yeah, I do, because I think
You
that
do.
your practices going into farms and whatnot, they're malicious, and they're people. They have to live. They have to battle.
They
through
do,
This world
they do.
That we're being put here
And
on.
we are not
you
against
know,
farmers
and
at all.
That's just how we are, and that's how
Yeah.
they've just been brought up that way.
They have, and
don't
that's
know
the thing.
anything. You know,
They
how
have-
would you guys feel if
Yeah.
you're going to a farm, that farm gets shut down, that farmer kills themselves?
Oh, okay. Let me explain a few things to you first
That's
of all.
happened.
Hold on, mate.
Yeah.
We are not
Anyway,
against
I
farmers.
do have to go.
No, this is a good conversation.
great.
Jonathan,
It was great
come
talking.
on. Let me
What
finish
was
this.
your name?
Natasha.
Yeah, Natasha.
You don't want to finish this
Yeah.
conversation
No,
about terrorists?
I'm good. I'm
You're going to
good.
walk away and not hear one of the most important
No,
things.
I've
You're going to
got-
help this point of view.
I've got-
And not, what have you got to do?
I've got to find my friend. Down
You've
and
just
now
called me a
he's gone.
terrorist and you're going to go and find a friend and you're not even going to hear me out.
yeah,
We
well-
are not against farmers. We're trying to help
But
farmers.
No, it's not helping farmers.
The
though.
government,
That's the vegan delusion.
the government is lying to us all. They're lying to the consumers. They're lying to farmers.
Ever.
So
like,
whose
that's the
fault is that?
government.
We are supporting them. We are trying to make a difference. We're not attacking farmers. We're trying to expose the truth.
Yeah.
We are trying to help farmers transition to a different
But
business.
It's not helping them. Like they're not.
That's
there's
because they
nothing
don't want to
else.
change.
There's nothing else.
We need to grow plants. Why can't they grow plants?
The planet can't sustain it.
Hold on, mate. We grow enough plants right now to feed 10 billion
It's
people.
Very nice to meet you.
We feed enough. We grow enough plants right now to feed 10 billion people. We feed those plants to animals to fatten them up.
Not everyone likes Brussels sprouts, though. You know?
I don't eat Brussels sprouts. I hate Brussels sprouts. Now you're talking bullshit.
I like
Let me give you a card. You like them? You're not good. You're still contributing to the mass murder of animals,
I don't need-
the destruction of the environment, and you're calling me a terrorist. So the least you can do is educate yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm educated. And
No, you're not. You call me a terrorist. You can't be educated and call me a terrorist.
like, you know, I'll stand by that comment.
Okay, can I say, leave you with one last comment? Is this incredibly disrespectful to victims of real terrorism, I have to say.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
That is
I don't like
it's-
Muslims either, so.
So now you're racist as well as
Yes,
speciesist?
I am.
Mate, how does it make you feel to hear yourself say that, Jonathan? Fine? I think the victims would be fine, mate.